Securing your Minnesota microbusiness license is a huge achievement, but the real work begins after approval. From deciding which activities to launch first to securing the right property and building a compliant facility, there's a lot to plan and execute before you can open your doors. Hi, I'm Dr. Lucas McCann. I'm the CSO of CannDelta, we're America's #1 cannabis licensing firm. And in this video, we'll walk you through the essential post-licensing steps for the Minnesota cannabis microbusinesses so you can get your operations up and running efficiently and stay compliant every step of the way. Let's get started. Microbusinesses in Minnesota are vertically integrated, meaning you can hold a cultivation, manufacturing, and retail endorsement in a single location. If you secured a license and checked off all the endorsement boxes, you have options when it comes to your business model. It's important to keep in mind that just because you can do all of these activities, you don't need to launch all of them at once. It's a good idea to start with just 1 or 2 of your endorsements to reduce upfront costs and allow your business to scale more sustainably. Just remember, the endorsements you include in your application must be consistent with what you launch first, meaning you can't start building out an operation for an endorsement you don't have yet. But if you want to add or modify endorsements, you can. Once you're approved, you'll need to update several of your application documents to reflect your final plans. And this includes your business and operational plans, updated site diagrams, equipment lists, security plans, financial projections, and these updates must be consistent with the endorsements you're approved for and tailored to your actual selected location. Securing a compliant location is one of the most important and potentially most challenging steps in the process of opening up your business. Your location must be properly zoned for cannabis activities under local ordinances. It must meet state setback requirements from schools, daycares, and other sensitive areas. It should allow for future expansion if you plan to scale later, and if you're planning to open a retail store, you'll need to complete a local registration process. Let's take a look at what it'll look like and how much it will be to cost to build out your facility, focusing on retail, cultivation, and manufacturing. During this process, proper project management during this stage is crucial. Delays in construction or inspection failures can seriously impact your go-to-market timeline. Keep that in mind when we go through the next few sections. And as a final quick reminder, remember that microbusiness licenses allow you to open 1 retail dispensary, a cultivation facility with up to 5,000 square feet of canopy space, a manufacturing facility where you can produce a maximum of 10,000 pounds of cannabis annually. And with that in mind, let's start with the retail build-out. After securing a location, you'll need to engage a number of vendors to get the construction started. Starting with the interior designers, you'll need to determine a layout with architects, electricians, HVAC, compliant storage solutions, and with your physical security fittings, such as visual surveillance, intrusion detection, and motion detection. At the same time, you'll need to be looking into inventory tracking and point of sale software, as well as display cases and signage. It's never too early to start planning your digital marketing strategy and putting together a compliant website, merch, and launching some socials to help build some hype for your grand opening. If you're looking for some more specifics on how much it's going to cost and where the bulk of your money will be spent early on, check out our Minnesota post-licensing ebook, which will be linked in the description box below. We'll also be hosting an in-depth webinar where we'll touch more on the build-out process and answering your questions live. Now, let's look at your cultivation facility build-out. After securing a location, you'll want to be in contact with agricultural engineers, HVAC specialists for climate control, licensed electricians, contractors who are familiar with the construction of cannabis grow rooms, and you'll also need plans for irrigation systems, fertigation equipment, water treatment, lighting, compliant storage solutions, and at the same time, it's important to source your cultivation benches, drying racks, odor control systems, and start reviewing your seed-to-sale inventory tracking software. Finally, let's look into the components of manufacturing the facility build-outs. This will include working with architects and engineers to design your facility layout, as well as contractors, electricians, and HVAC technicians to handle your infrastructure. You'll also need to procure compliant extraction and infusion equipment, ventilation systems, fire suppression systems, and storage solutions that meet the regulatory standards. Depending on the products that you wish to produce, you may need specialized machinery for bottling, mixing, canning, and automated weighing and packaging. While that's underway, it's time to research inventory tracking software and start mapping out your manufacturing SOPs and potentially implementing a quality management system. And for both cultivators and manufacturers, at the onset of post-licensing, it's also never too early to start planning your branding and digital presence, including a compliant website, merchandising, and social media strategy to help establish your future retail and wholesale footprint. Once again, costs can vary widely depending on your starting condition, size of the facility, and which endorsements you're activating. For microbusinesses, a minimal build-out could start around $150,000, while a fully vertically integrated operation with cultivation, manufacturing, and retail could exceed $500,000 or more. As I mentioned, you can find out more detail on that in our ebook, which is linked down below. Now, we'll begin moving to some very important key considerations to keep in mind while preparing for your inspection and getting ready to be a compliant operator. Before you can begin operations, your facility will need to pass a final inspection from the Office of Cannabis Management, or the OCM. This includes verifying that all systems are in place and meet regulatory standards, confirming your compliance with your submitted plans, reviewing your record keeping, safety, and inventory tracking procedures. You'll also need to demonstrate your readiness to operate. This includes having SOPs in place, trained staff, and inventory controls. Minnesota's microbusiness model is designed to support gradual growth. Many licensees begin with limited production, direct-to-consumer retail, or small batch manufacturing to establish a market presence and generate early revenue. As your business grows, you can expand into additional endorsements or apply to convert your license structure into the future. Launching a cannabis microbusiness in Minnesota is a big undertaking, but with careful planning and the right guidance, it can also be an incredibly rewarding one. At CannDelta, we help license holders navigate every step of the post-licensing process to help operationalize their business, from zoning to build-out and design to inspections and operational support that's ongoing. If you've recently secured your microbusiness license or expect to soon, get in touch with us today. Make sure your business is set up for long-term success. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content just like this. I'm Dr. Lucas McCann, signing off.